Okay guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. So guys, on this video I'm gonna be showing you how you can answer SCL1501 assignment, or I think that is 1 or 2, yeah, but under semester 1 2024. So guys, as I promised you guys that I'm gonna be showing you some guide when it comes to question 5. It deals with calculations, so most of you are struggling, so you have requested. So guys, I've done these calculations long time ago, so but I think I still have it. Still have it. So guys, before we can start, let's discuss the structure of this table. Here is a study guide. If you can go to, let me check the page is clearing up. 117 in guides. So you could see this table is even at the top under unit 6. So as you can see, let's look at this bold words. So we have service rendered. Service rendered is simply means that the work that it was done, the work which was done. So let's check the work which was done. Let me go to the question paper. So as you can see, here's the question paper, question 5. So the work which was done is this one. During the past months, the attorney rendered the following services, and then we have received, wrote, drafted, consultations, instructed, referred. So let me just erase this thing, because I just made a video, but the video just disappeared, so I had to do a retheme. Okay, so which means that this is the service which was rendered. Let's go back to our study guide. So we have fees. So as you can see, under the fees there is state that VAT excluded. So fees is the amount which you have to pay to the law firm, which is rendered in the law firm. So which means that if the law firm has to do something, they have to do it in there. They don't have to go to a clinic or go outside and stuff like that. Then the VAT is not included. The reason why the VAT is not included, it's more like when you go to ShopRite to buy Coke, airtime and milk. When you buy these items, they add the amount of these items, and then when they have a total amount, that's where they will add VAT. But if you go to ShopRite to buy milk, and then go to Checkers to buy airtime, and then go to Pep to buy, let's say, some candies and stuff, these shops are going to charge you VAT individually. But here, since everything is being done under one organization, they will charge you VAT once. And then on the last part, we have expenses. It says that VAT included. So which means that in this ones, you have to include VAT individually, because of the service which is rendered here was not done in the same organization, which means that they had to go to post office, they had to go to medical what, they had to go to a lawyer. So this is how they separate these things. And then let's start with the calculations. Okay, let me go here. Let's start with the question paper. So in the question paper, it states that received 12 letters. So before you could start, we check the first one. It says that received 12 letters. Then you scroll up, or you just take this thing, received 12 letters, and then you write it here. You write it here as a first point. Received 12 letters. Then let's check the amount of 12 letters. The amount of 12 letters is 77 rand 25 cent. Then you are going to say, let me do it this way. You are going to say 77 rand 25 cent multiply by 12. Then it gives you how much? Let me do it this way. so that you can see it and understand. Just want you to see it and understand. Again, you have to see and understand. Okay, now let me put it in full so that you can see it. Then you say I'm to say 77 rand 25 cent times 12 is going to give you 927. Reason why I put it under the fees is because of this service was rendered in the law firm or attorney what firm, ne? So they did not carry it outside. So let's move to number 2. Number 2 state that, let me put it this way so that you could see it if you're using a phone. The number 2 state that wrote and posted letters, the problem starts here. Let's break it down. We have 2 things here. The first one is wrote. How many letters did we wrote? 10 letters. So each letter written is 115 rand 50 cent. So what are we gonna do? We are gonna deal with the first one. The first one, which is wrote. Yeah? So we are going to say that 115 rand 50 cent times 10 letters is equals to 1115, and then we put it under fees. Reason why we put it under fees, it was done in the law firm, written by who? By the attorneys. Ne? So we move to number 3. Number 3 is this one. Number 3 is this one, posted. So when you're posting a letter, they charge you a stamp. Every letter has to go with a stamp. So the VAT is excluded. Let's go to the stamp. The stamp is 7 rand 25 cent each stamp, and then VAT is excluded. We need to also add VAT, but we start by adding the number or the amount of stamp, and then after that, that's where we'll add VAT, because of this thing is from post office. All these letters are from post office, so it's more like going to the same store, buying items from the same store. So obviously they're going to charge you VAT once. Yeah? So we are going to say that 7 rand 25 cent times 10. Yeah? The amount which we get, we are going to say plus 15%, which is VAT. Yeah? And then we are going to say 7 rand 25 cent times 10, and then it gives us 72 rand 5 cent, and then we say plus 15% VAT. When you say multiply, it's going to show you the amount which is the tax, is for tax, and then you have to add it and stuff like that. So it's going to be a long drive. Just say plus 15, and then please include this percentage sign, plus 15%, and then it's going to give you, let me check, it's going to give you 83 rand 375 cents. You can round it off or you can leave it that way. It's fine, it works both ways. Ne? So we are done. Reason why I'm putting it under the expenses is, it means that the service which was rendered had to be rendered outside at a post office. A post office does not have a law firm. A law firm does not have a post office, so they have to go away outside. And then let's move to the other one. Number 3. Number 3, they state that for affidavits, drafted 4 affidavits. So they drafted 4 affidavits. So which means that we're going to check. Each affidavit is 88 rand 50 cent per page or any part. Again, any part, it includes half, quarter, or whatever. Ne? So here is that first one, it consists of 1 page and a half. So which means it's going to be 2 pages. because of one, that half will count as a full page. Then which means that the first one, we are going to say that 88 rand 50 cent times 2, ne? And then the other one state that consisting of 2.5. So which means that it's going to be 2. That half is also going to be recognized as a full, so it's going to be 3. So it's going to be 3. It's going to be 88 rand 50 cent times 3. And then it states that and 2 consisting of 2. We are talking about 2 things here. 2 consisting of 5.5. So which means that half is a full, is considered as a full. So which means it's going to be 6. So we have 2 6. I'm getting it 2 consisting of 2. So we have 2 6. 2 6. And then from there, this is how I put it in simple terms. Let me show you. And then 800, I'm to say 88 rand 50 cent times 2 is equals to 177. 88 rand 50 cent times 3 is going to be 265 rand 5 cent, and then times 6 is going to be 531, and then times 6 is going to be 531. Then you add everything, and then we write it under the fees because of it was drafted in the law firm, and then it gives us 1,504 rand 5 cent. Then we move to the next one. Consulted thrice. Thrice means that 3 times telephonically. Then we check telephonically. Then they state that telephonically 129 rand 50 cent per 10 minutes. Ne? So which means that per 10 minutes they will charge you 129 rand 50 cent. So we are going to check the first one. The first one is 23 minutes. So let's check how many times does 10 go into 23. It goes how many times? 2 times, and leaves what? And it leaves 3 behind. So 3 is considered as any part. I need to say it goes 2 times, ne? Yeah, it goes 2 times. 23 divided by 10. It goes 2 times and leaves 3. 3 is going to be considered as any part. That 3 minutes is going to be considered as 3 part. So it's going to be, I mean to say any part. So it's going to be 3. So which means that it's going to be 129 rand 50 cent times 3. Ne? And then we have the second one, which is 12 and a half. Okay, we have 12 and a half. So I believe that is minutes because of they did not state what 12 and a half. So which means that 10 goes into 12 how many times? It goes 1 time and leaves 2 and a half. So that 2 and a half is going to be as any part. So it's going to be 2. So which means that 129 rand 50 cent times 2. And then it states that later 36 minutes. So 36 minutes, it simply means that in 36 minutes it goes 3 times, and when it goes 3 times it's going to leave what? 6 minutes. So that 6 minutes is included as what? Any part. Then that's where it's going to be 4. Ne? So it's going to be this way. So the first one is 129 rand 50 cent times 3 is 388 rand 5 cent, and then times 2 259, and then times 4 is going to be 518, and then you add these things, and then it's going to give you 1,165 rand 5 cents, and then we add it under the fees because of it was carried out in under the law firm. Then we go to the next one, which is this thing was still recording. Lastly, it was not recording. Consultation twice. So which means that this person consulted twice. So let's check consultation. They say that for 30 minutes or any part, they charge you 967 rand. So let's check. Let me just reduce it a little bit. Consultation. So the first consultation was 33 minutes. So we're going to say, how many times does 30 go into 33 minutes? It goes once, but it leaves what? 3 minutes outside. So which means that 3 minutes is any part. So it's going to be 2. So it's going to be 967 times 2. Ne? We start with that is the first one. Then the second one is that 2 hours and a half. So let's break it down in a math-elite way. So each hour has how many minutes? 60 minutes. So which means that if we have 2 hours, it's going to be 60 plus 60, and then we have how many minutes? 120 minutes. So which means that 2 hours is 120 minutes. So how many times does 30 go into 120? It goes 4 times. You can even divide it by using a calculator. You can just say 120 divided by 30 is going to tell you that it is 4 times. Then we have 4. But we are still left with what? The half. 1 over 2. Then 1 over 2 is a half. Ne? So that half, it will be taken as a full part. And then it will be plus 1. And then it's going to give us 5. Then which means that we are going to say 967 rand times 5, and then it's going to be like this. Let me check. Still calculating, still counting. Then guys, as you can see, consultations 2 times that 967 rand times 2 is going to give us 1934, and then times 5 is going to give us 4850. I'm to say 4835. Then in total, when we add that 1934 and 4835 is going to give us 6769. Then let's move to the other one, which is advocate to draft a pleading. The advocate charged 2,220, VAT excluded. This was an outside fee. Once you see they state VAT excluded, just know that it is expenses. Expenses. So on this one, we are going to write it under the expenses, and then we are going to say that 2,220 plus 15% VAT. Please make sure that once you state that you enter that 15, you include that percentage sign. Then it's going to give you the amount. It's going to be like walala wasala. Let me just show you bit by bit. So as you can see, then it will give you 2,553. And then we go to the last point, the last point. He referred the client to Nomzamo clinic in the city to consult a specialist at a cost of 3,347 rand 50 cent, which state that VAT excluded. It is a service which was rendered outside. Once you see VAT, yes, outside. then you just say 3,347 rand 50 cents plus 15% VAT. Then how much do you get? Please guys, don't forget to add this line. Don't forget to add this line. Then it's going to give you 3,849 rands 625 cents. So you can round it off or you can round it off later. It's up to you. Then we are done with the first part. Let me explain the second part. And getting this thing has so many parts. So as we can see, we are done with this first part. Yeah? So we need to add something that is called subtotal plus VAT plus expenses. But let's start with this last part. When they state that subtotal, they want to know what is the total amount of fees, what is the total amount of expenses individually. So which means that we are going to add our fees starting here to the last one. And then we are going to add our expenses starting here to the last one. Which means that we will add our fees starting here up to, we focus only on the things that are under this block. Yeah? And then we add them. After adding them, we do the same under this thing. Then we write subtotal. Once we write subtotal, we add these things. After adding these numbers, which means that we are going to say that 927 plus 1,155 plus 1,505, I'm just say 1,504 rand 5 cent plus 1,165 rand 5 cent, 6,769, and then in total it gives us 11,521. And then we go to the expenses. The expenses is 83 rand 375 cents, yeah? Plus 2,553 plus 3,849 rands 625 cents. Then in total it gives us how much? 6,486. Yeah? Then we are done. Then once we are done with subtotal, we need to plus VAT. When we are adding VAT, we are adding VAT on the things that which were not, VAT was not included. Or maybe let me say that we did not calculate the VAT on. And it, as I have explained, that when you add VAT, if the items which you have are from the same store, they're going to add VAT on those things same time. But if they are from different store, each item is going to have its own VAT. So the fees are the things which are done in the law firm. So they have to add those things first and add what? Add VAT. So we are going to add VAT under the fees. Expenses we are done with the VAT. So we have to say 11,521 plus 15%. Then it has to be like this. It has to be like this. Plus 15%. 11,521 plus 15%, and it has to give us 13,249 rand 15 cents. Then we are not done. We are not done. As it is stated, plus expenses, then that's where we are able to add the fees and the expenses. The reason why is because of the expenses. The expenses already have VAT, and then the fees did not have VAT, but since we have added VAT, then we can combine everything all in all together. And then we move to plus expenses. Then we say 13,249 rands 15 cents plus 6,486. Then it gives us the total amount of 19,735 rands 15 cents. So guys, I do stand to be corrected. I do stand to be corrected on this one. So if you have any question based on this thing, then you can engage. I do stand to be corrected. If you have any question, we can still deal with it if we still have time with this thing. So the total amount, guys, is this thing, 19,735 rand 15 cents. That's the amount which I got. So one thing that you need to know about this thing is that know the service which is rendered and then how it's been rendered. Please read the service rendered carefully, because of if you can check here, let me show you the question paper. Let me show you. Let me choose a different color so that you could see it very well. Let me just take pink. Okay, let me show you. What's that thing? Yeah, here. Most people get it wrong when it comes to this thing of 2 consisting of 5.5. So please make sure that you approach this thing with a clear mind, and please make sure that you calculate these things with caution. So guys, all the best.